Okay, welcome back. My name is Marco. Now let's talk about why do people have a hard time when sourcing manufacturing in China. Well, guys, let me tell you the ugly truth, right? A lot of people assume that because a product is made in China, so they will have access to every product out there in China. The fact is, made in China does not mean it is available in China. Okay, startups and small business are usually the most vulnerable because they are the perfect audience for hit and run type of deals, okay? And they are unlikely to take legal actions. So it is commonly targeted by scammers. So some of the most common mistakes that people make is they get lured into unbelievable deals. Someone will come up to them and say, well, here's a back door. We have some products, like for example, we have this JBL stereo, right? We are the manufacturer for JBL, and we have some extra, and we make something, additional that we just want to get rid of, and we're gonna sell them for cheap, right? And you do your due diligence, you think that's a great deal, and you want to buy it, right? But usually, if it's too good to be true, it is most certainly is too good to be true. All right. So don't get lured into that kind of deal, right? And then another thing is people don't have a long-term strategy. Okay, when you are buying something in China, remember you are building a business. So you need to build this business for the long term. So you need to consider not just buying the product once, right? Not just twice, right? You want to take one delivery, two delivery, three delivery, and on and on. You don't want to run out of stock. So you need to make sure that your product, okay, can be delivered, right? When you need it, when you want it, right? And you need to plan on that, right? And you also need to make sure that the quality are top notch. Now, I'm not saying that you have to make it completely like you don't have to be like a NASA, right? You don't have to make this a rocket science, but it has to be somewhat more valuable than your competitor, right? For you to stay on top. Okay. And another big mistake that people make is really they just cross their finger and hope that everything will go well. Okay. So there is a system in place that you need to build a system in place to make sure that you are never relying on hope. You are not just crossing your fingers, and that you're doing this correctly, and you will never ever have any problem sourcing China. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's check, right, if you are ready for China. Let's just get that out of the way, right? Now, it is okay if you are not ready to start buying from China. Okay, sometimes maybe your business, your business is just better off buying domestic, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so if you need to buy from China, okay, you need to invest in something. Okay, you need to invest a little bit of money upfront. Okay, not just buying the inventory, but you need to invest a little bit of money to put the system in place in order for you to buy from China without any problem. Okay, so some of the must-have ingredients are, right, you got to be able to spend a couple $100 to do a supplier audit. Okay, you got to check out if the supplier will be able to supply you, will be able to do a long term, and whether that's a valid supplier before you jump in, right? You give them some money. Okay, and you need to make sure that the quality assurance is in place. All right, so you don't get that you don't get your first shipment or your sample looking good, and later on you find out that, wow, the second batch is completely worthless, right? So, or third or whatnot. Okay, and you also need to have bilingual contracts. Okay, because in order to protect yourself legally in China, and this will also get the supplier to take you more seriously when they are producing for you and taking you on as a customer, is to have contracts in place. Okay, and the Chinese court of law will only accept bilingual contracts. Okay, everything has to be in Chinese. Okay, so you got to make sure that you can spend, a couple $100, hiring some law office in China and to help you draft your bilingual contracts. Okay, and lastly, you also got to make sure that you are available to buy in minimum order quantities. Okay, now depending on your product, some products might require larger minimum order quantity. So say for example, if you're buying pencils, right? Yeah, those are probably goes in 20, 30,000 pieces, okay, per run. Okay, so versus, if you are buying amplifier, say for example, right, then they're probably okay with you just buying a massive carton, okay, because they are obviously higher price, and there isn't just people buying large bulk of those kind of products. So it really depends, okay, but check if you have check the product that you want to buy, okay, and check if you fit in this criteria before you start jumping into sourcing from China.